The storm surrounding the new mayor of Johannesburg refuses to die down. Former city mayor Mpho Phalatse now joins us via our Zoom link and to take a closer look at what is taking place and transpiring in the city of Johannesburg. Mpho Phalatse, thank you so much for joining us here on the late edition. One would ask that after we saw the mayor being installed, we then saw those allegations coming out from the DA, and you gave the mayor of the city of Johannesburg 48 hours to explain himself and hand himself over to the police. I mean, someone will ask, it's 48 hours and you said you'd lay the charges. Why haven't you laid the charges?
I never said I would lay the charges in 48 hours. I called on the mayor to get on a public platform within 48 hours and respond to these allegations. I'm not the one making the allegations. The allegations are made by several residents of the city in the Protea area, Protea South, Protea North, who alleged that they were involved in this scheme. And I simply gave them an opportunity to come clean and either dispute or agree with those allegations.
Well, Kabelo Gwamanda, the former mayor in the city of Johannesburg, views this differently, and he calls this as an attack on the current mayor in the city of Johannesburg. And of course, and says that you have violated his rights. He has now written to the speaker in the city of Johannesburg and saying that he's laid a formal complaint with the city, saying that, the human rights and dignity of Kabelo Gwamanda have been violated against. What is your response to the latest revelations coming out from the city?
I have no response to that. I've seen the letter you're referring to. I also saw the statement by Jama-ah calling on me to apologize. I will not be doing anything of that nature. I will continue to assist all those who are affected. For as long as they want me to assist them, I'll continue to do so. And I'll continue to engage law enforcement to ensure that there's justice.
And of course, you also talk about Jama-ah. We saw a statement coming out from them yesterday as well, calling you a sore loser, and one would say because of these revelations which have come out, they're laying this on your doorstep. They are saying that it is you who came out with these allegations, and they're basically saying that, well, you couldn't keep your hands on Johannesburg, and hence why we are seeing the smear campaign against Kabelo Gwamanda.
Well, fortunately, it's not my voice on that voice note, the voice note that many of us heard, including myself. It's a voice of one of the people who are affected by this alleged scheme. So how that now becomes my voice, I don't understand, unless they're saying we were supposed to ignore these cries by innocent residents of Johannesburg asking for help. I'm a public representative in the city. I assist residents on a daily basis with various issues, and this is one of them, and I will continue to do so. Yes, they will try and say it's because I lost the mayorship. This has got nothing to do with the mayorship. In fact, I congratulated the mayor myself just after his election on Friday, and I had a chat with him even just before his election. So I have no reason to start these because of the mayorship, but I'm not going to ignore them either. This is a very serious allegation, and it needs to be tested by law enforcement, and it will happen.
And you have certainly spoken to those victims. They've reached out to you. What are they saying now when it comes to reporting this crime? Because you're alleging that there is a crime here that took place. And are they going to law enforcement authorities to actually report it?
Yes, definitely. They will be reporting this to law enforcement. As I've already explained, I was requested to give them an opportunity to organize themselves. They would like to do so in a group. We'll be seeing some of them tomorrow even, just to assess their state of readiness to take this further. However, I have already alerted law enforcement. They're also on standby to receive this matter. So it's all systems go. As soon as they're ready, we'll go through. I have seen some of the documentation pertaining to their transactions with this scheme, and I'm convinced that there is a case to be answered, and I will do everything in my power to support those that are looking for justice to do so.
And in terms of the documentation you have seen, if maybe you can alert our viewers to exactly what this, alleged crime is. We would use those words right now. What exactly took place here? We know that it took place a couple of years ago. What are they putting on the doorstep of Kabelo Gwamanda?
Well, what they're alleging is that he was part of a scheme, an investment scheme and a funeral scheme. And most of the people who joined both the investment side and the funeral cover side. One of the people I spoke to says she joined the investment side with 1,000 Rand and she was contributing 500 Rands every month. She was meant to get 25,000 Rand. She never got that money. She got 4,000 Rand in cash. She was met by, I suppose, Kabelo and the partner, certain Duduzi, I forget the surname, at a park where they gave her this 4,000 Rand in very loose cash. No paperwork was signed. She was promised she would get the rest of the money and she never got it. On the funeral scheme side, she alleges that she was contributing 100 Rands every month after an initial joining fee of 250 Rands. She has since had a bereavement where she needed to claim against the funeral cover and she was unable to because the company was non-existent. I don't know if it got liquidated or what happens, but we will find out.
And do we know yet how many people are alleged to be involved in this, who have actually been affected by paying these monies and never got any of the returns?
It sounds like it was quite widespread in the Protea North, Protea South area. If I just listened to some of the stories, one of the voice notes I listened to was by a woman who allegedly gathered people in her garage and invited them to a presentation. She mentions prison wardens, beg your pardon, who also invested in the scheme. She mentions business people who also invested in the scheme. She mentions burial societies that also enrolled as a club to the scheme. So it sounds like it was quite a number of people involved, but we will deal with whoever comes forward. We will assist whoever wants to be assisted, and we will get to see with time exactly the extent of this alleged scheme.
And when exactly can we expect those charges to be laid at the police station?
And I'm looking forward to it happening before the end of this week. I would really like to hand this over to law enforcement so that they can run with it. It is their responsibility to investigate these kinds of matters.
All right, then. Thank you very much. That is Mpho Phalatse from the DA in Johannesburg there, just giving us a bit of insight when it comes to that matter being dealt with in the city of Johannesburg. Well, she says she's not a sore loser. Of also looking at that statement coming out from Jama-ah, of course, yesterday saying that, they have done all the necessary background check on the current mayor. And of course, all of this is really baseless and unfounded.